Beyond Norm Knowledge Workshop isn't just about English. It's about the knowledge you need for the future.
You're scrolling an app, watching a video, using a search engine, and it's all completely free. Have you ever just stopped and wondered, wait a second, how is this actually free? What's the catch? Well, it's a question we've all had, and today we're going to pull back the curtain on the whole digital economy to find out how the internet really makes its money.
So, here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with the basics, then jump into the 5 main blueprints that basically run the web. After that, I've got a simple digital mall analogy to help it all click. Then we'll put them head to head. And finally, I'm going to turn it over to you to think about how you might build the next big thing online.
All right, let's kick things off with section 1, the internet's moneymakers. We're diving right in to solve that big mystery. How can so much of the digital world we live in run, seemingly for free? I mean, this is the question that starts it all, right? We spend hours and hours on search engines, on social media, on video platforms, and we never pull out our wallets? It really feels like we're getting something for nothing. But, and this is the key, behind every single one of those free services is a really carefully designed business model. And that leads us right to our core idea, a digital business model. Now, don't let the fancy term fool you. All it is the playbook. It's the company's strategy for making money online. It's how they use all the tech, the websites, the apps, the AI, the data, to create something valuable that somebody, whether it's you or an advertiser, is going to be willing to pay for. So, with that in mind, let's get right into the 5 key blueprints. Honestly, these are the models that power pretty much every single website, app, and online service that you use every day. First up, the subscription model. This one's all about paying for access, not for ownership. You pay a fee, usually every month or every year, and in return, the company gets this amazing, steady, predictable stream of income. The big challenge for them? They have to constantly prove their value to stop you from canceling. That's a problem they call churn, and it's a constant battle. You see this everywhere. Just think about Netflix, Amazon Prime, or hey, even your gym membership. Those are all perfect examples of the subscription model at work. As long as you keep paying, you keep getting access. Okay, next up is the absolute giant that powers most of the free internet, the advertising model. You've probably heard the saying, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product. That's this model in a nutshell. The service is free because your attention, and more importantly, your data, are being packaged up and sold to advertisers. It's an amazing way to get a massive user base really fast, but of course it raises some pretty serious privacy questions. And yeah, the biggest names on the internet live and breathe this model. We're talking Google Search, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. They're all these massive, incredible platforms built on one simple trade, a free service in exchange for showing you ads. Our third blueprint is the marketplace model. I like to think of these companies as digital matchmakers. They build a platform that connects people who want to buy something with people who want to sell something, and they just take a little cut from the transaction. The real magic here is something called the network effect. The more sellers that join, the more buyers show up, and the more buyers that show up, the more sellers want to join. The whole thing just gets more and more valuable. The really hard part, though, is just getting it started. It's a classic chicken and egg problem. You need buyers and sellers at the exact same time. And this model is so flexible. It works for physical stuff like on Amazon Marketplace and eBay, but it also works for services like getting a ride from Uber or hiring a freelancer on Fiverr. Blueprint number 4 is e-commerce. This one's maybe the most traditional model, just brought online. A company builds its own digital store to sell its own products straight to you. The huge plus side is they have total control over their brand, their product, the whole customer experience. But the flip side is, well, they're responsible for everything. Warehousing the inventory, figuring out shipping, and paying to get people to visit their site in the first place. Just think of the biggest brands in the world. When you go directly to Nike.com or Apple.com, you are seeing the e-commerce model in its purest form. And our fifth and final blueprint is SaaS. That stands for Software as a Service. The easiest way to think about it is you're renting software instead of buying it. A lot of times it uses a subscription, but the real key is that the software doesn't live on your computer. It lives in the cloud, on the company's servers, and you just access it online. For customers, this is awesome. No installations, no manual updates. For the company, though, the big worries are keeping your data secure and dealing with tons of competition, because it's often super easy for users to just switch to a competitor. And you almost certainly use SaaS tools every single day, whether it's for work or for school. Microsoft 365, Salesforce, Dropbox, all of them are perfect examples of this super powerful model. Okay, so we've just covered 5 totally different models. But how do they all fit together? To make this all click, I want you to reimagine the entire digital economy as just one giant, sprawling shopping mall. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it simplifies everything. So in our digital mall, an e-commerce site like Nike.com, that's just a single brand store, like the Nike store. The marketplace, say Amazon, well, they're like the mall management. They run the whole space and rent out spots to other sellers. A SaaS company, they're the ones providing essential services to all the other stores, like renting out the cash registers. And the advertising model? Well, that's just all the posters and digital screens you see plastered all over the mall. You see, they're all distinct models, but they can all coexist and even depend on each other in the same ecosystem. Now that we've got that clear picture in our heads, let's put these models right up against each other. Because understanding their core trade-offs, that's the real key to understanding why a company would choose one over another. So you can see, each model has this fundamental trade-off. Subscription and SaaS give you that amazing steady income, but you're always fighting to keep customers. Advertising makes it super easy to get users because it's free, but it needs huge scale and comes with all that privacy baggage. Marketplaces are awesome because you don't hold inventory, but they're tough to start and it's hard to control quality. And e-commerce gives you total brand control, but you're on the hook for all the logistics and marketing. The real takeaway here is there is no single best model. It's always about matching the strategy to the product. So, we have officially broken down the code of the digital economy. Now, let's wrap this up and focus on what this new knowledge really empowers you to do. Here's what you can walk away with today. First, you can now look at pretty much any app or website out there and actually see the mechanics of how it makes money. Second, you can think way more critically about the pros and cons, the real trade-offs of the services you use every single day. And finally, you have the building blocks, the foundation, to start imagining which of these blueprints might actually fit a new business idea of your own. And that leaves us with one last question, and this one's for you. With this new framework in your back pocket, if you were going to start a digital business tomorrow, which one of these blueprints would you use, and why? Think about it. Your answer says a lot about what you value and what kind of mark you want to make. Thanks so much for joining this explainer.
Join Beyond Norm Knowledge Workshop to master English and stay ahead in your career.